Even as the door closed on Andy Coulson's career at Number 10, work had begun behind it to attempt to repair the political damage. Specifically damage to David Cameron. It was he who made the decision to employ Mr Coulson, despite his resignation as editor of the News of the World because of their phone hacking scandal.
When he was hired, it was seen as part of David Cameron's Rehabilitation of Offenders Act. It was a generous second chance for an obviously talented journalist. And David Cameron hoped that the allegations would go away. And for a time, it seemed as if they might.
But they didn't. In 2005, the then newspaper editor became news himself when Prince William raised concerns his messages were being intercepted. A police inquiry resulted in Andy Coulson stepping down. Then in 2007, he was appointed Director of Communications for the Tories. But 2 years later, a Guardian investigation claimed thousands of phones belonging to public figures like ex-footballer Paul Gascoigne, former Deputy Prime Minister John Prescott and presenter Chris Tarrant had also been hacked. Andy Coulson denied all knowledge, but a fresh wave of coverage began when actress Sienna Miller recently launched civil legal action against the paper, alleging her phone was also hacked. Added to that, Cameron faced criticism for having a senior News International figure by his side, while the decision about that company's proposed takeover of B-Sky B hung in the balance. As Coulson acknowledged, when the spokesman needs a spokesman, it's time to move on. So who will Cameron now employ to help him out of this PR nightmare?
He could go for a civil servant in that role. That's what Tony Blair and Gordon Brown did to an extent in the latter years of the Labour government. It's very possible he might pick one of the directors of communications from one of the big government departments. But there are all sorts of names in the Westminster lobby being touted for the position. I suspect the favourite is Guito Harry, Boris Johnson's press man, former BBC employee.
Andy Coulson won't leave officially for a few weeks, so he may have a say in who his successor is. There will be debate over who gets that position, but there won't be any dispute. Mr Coulson will be a hard act to follow. Jane Dougall, Sky News.